Hi and welcome back to my channel, Sunshine Lorena. So, it is the 31st of January. This is my January wrap up. January's finally almost over. I feel like this month has literally lasted about 3 months long. I had to actually look up all the books I read this month because I can't remember when the month started, basically. So yeah, it's been a long month, probably due to the lockdown that we have here in England. But yes, almost there. Tomorrow's February, a new month. It's my birthday month. I'm going to be 29 plus 1. But at least, you know, it's towards the end, you know. I still have time. I still have time. So I read in a total six books this month. So I'm actually 2 ahead of my yearly reading goal. Started off well, and also I ticked off like a couple of my other kind of goals that I set in my goals for 2021 video. So without further ado, let's just get into the books. So the first book I read this month, I started off with the reread, a favourite. I want to start 2021 off on a high, you know. I knew that I wanted something that was going to be 5 stars because it's always 5 stars for me, and that is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. It's my all-time favourite. It's my all-time favourite book, and I just love it, you know. Just love it. It's a special place in my heart, and there's just so many amazing and great quotes in this book. Okay, now obviously I recommend this out to everyone. However, I do know that this isn't going to be for everyone, you know. Not everyone feels the same way as I do about it, but I think it's amazing. I love it. So to stop myself from rambling on, maybe ruining it, I'm going to read from the summary at the back, because I don't want to give away too much. I remember I picked my first copy up. It was at the Works, and it was on there 2 for £5 or 3 for £5, I can't remember. So I read the back. I was like, oh, that sounds fun, and just picked it up. And I had no idea about the hype, and I'm so glad I didn't. I don't know if it would have changed my opinion, but I didn't go in expecting great things, which probably helped, you know. So it is the story of a shepherd boy from Spain, from Andalusia. He dreams of travelling the world in search of a treasure as desirable as any ever found. From his home, he journeys to the exotic markets of North Africa and then into the Egyptian desert, where a fateful encounter with the alchemist awaits him. It is an unforgettable story about the essential wisdom of listening to our heart and, above all, following our dreams. And that's it. Like, I don't want to say anything else about this because I love it so much, and I just don't want to ruin it for anyone. But trust me, read it. It's amazing. Right, then the next one I went on to was No Exit by Taylor Adams. And this is a thriller book. Let me tell you, it was incredible. I started off 2021 with an amazing thriller. Like, this was amazing. I give it 5 stars, okay? And I didn't read a thriller for a while, and this is why I love them. Books like this is why I love thrillers, okay? I had seen it around, people speaking about it, and I thought that sounds like a pretty cool premise. Let's read it. And I didn't expect to come out rating it 5 stars going into it, you know. So No Exit. It is set in Colorado, and it is during a snowstorm. So our main character, Darcy, is driving back home. Her mum's unwell, and she's like driving through the night to try and get back to see her mum. Problem is, there's a snowstorm, and it's getting so bad that she has to stop in a rest stop. When she arrives there, there are other people already there. There are 4 other people, and yeah, they're just gonna have to wait it out, basically. There's like a radio, and basically it's until morning. and she's trying to get signal to let like her sister know, our mum know like what's gonna happen, and she's gonna be delayed. So she gets given some information by one of the other people, and she's like walking around trying to find signal, and eventually she comes all the way back round to her car, and next to her car is a van, which obviously is one of the other people in this rest stop, right? And she sees a child in a cage in this van, and it's just like, what? You know, she's like, there's a child, one of the people that she's gonna have to spend the night with in this restaurant has kidnapped a child, okay? And then basically what the plot follows is her obviously trying to do the right thing and save and rescue this child, okay? Let me tell you, it is intense. You think it gets brought up and you think, okay, I've reached the level of like, this is it, like, you know, this is then how intense it's gonna get, how suspenseful, and then it goes up, and then it goes up, and then up, you know, it's amazing. You do find out whose van it is pretty quickly on. However, there are so many other twists that happen in this book that doesn't ruin it for you, trust me. Like, there's just twist, you know. One of them I kind of had, I thought maybe that could happen, and it did, but then there's just so many other twists that I did not see coming. And then the things that this girl does, I don't know if I'd be able to do that, you know. I'd probably just be like, right, let me get the number plate, the details of the person driving it, as much information, and as soon as we're out here, I get signal, I contact and get, you know, help, because I could not do what she does. Like, yeah, I just, you know what I mean, it was, yeah, intense, but amazing and incredible. Like, if you have not read it, pick it up. Plus, it's a great winter book because of like the snow, the vibes, and yeah, it just takes all place on one night, and so that's why I think it's really intense, super fast paced, easy thriller, amazing. Read it. So I then read another thriller, and that was What Lies Between Us, and it's by John Mars. I probably should have had like a palate cleanser in between two thrillers, right? Because the problem I find with, if you read multiple thrillers in a row, like especially with no exit, you know, I was on like a high, you know, I was like in a really good place with it, you know, it was like way up here, so anything that followed was going to be pretty hard for, you know, to live up, you know, to live up to the how amazing that was. So I ended up giving What Lies Between Us a 3.5 star. It was more of a medium-paced thriller, a lot slower than No Exit. And like I said, I might have given a higher rating maybe that I hadn't read it immediately after No Exit. But yes, so this follows Nina and Maggie. Those are our two main characters. So Nina, they both live in this house, okay? And, you know, Nina can never forgive Maggie for what she's done, okay? And she can never let her leave. She's keeping her locked up in the attic, basically. You know, there's like secrets and things, which obviously throughout the course of the book is revealed, and you start to understand what's happened in the past to obviously lock up Maggie in the attic. Like, I mean, that's just crazy, right? What, locking up a person in your attic, and also going to the lengths of like soundproofing and like all of this stuff, like the windows like has special blinds on it so people outside can't see in. Like, she went to lengths, okay, to lock her up there, and she's never gonna forgive her for what she did. And yes, like I said, the story is obviously you're trying to find out what Maggie did to make Nina lock her up, what's happened in the past. You also find out what the relationship is between these two women, and twice a week they do eat together. She puts on a longer chain so she can go down to the dining room and they can have a meal together as part, you know, it's part of their ritual. But there's so many mystery and unraveling, and yeah, I did enjoy it, you know, find out exactly what happened. Like, can't say too much otherwise I'm ruining it, but like, yeah, you unravel this mystery the lies that have been told and then what the truth really is. And yeah, I was quite surprised by the whole truth, the whole story. Some bits and pieces I kind of guessed. There was a plot twist that I literally guessed about 2 pages before, so I suppose that did take me by surprise. And yeah, it was a good read. It was my first John Mars book. I really enjoyed it. I do have The Passengers on my Kindle to read, so I'm looking forward to reading another book of his. And yes, it is really enjoyable. I don't know, I might have enjoyed it more, like I said, if I didn't literally just read No Exit, which was amazing. I'm just going to say again, amazing. So, what was my next book? So then I read Giant Days Volume 3, and that's by John Allison, and the illustrator is Max Sarin. So this is the third one, Volume 3. I read the first 2 at the end of December, and yeah, it's just follows these group of friends at university, and it's set in England. Yeah, it's just following them through. This is like their first year at university. This one took place after the Christmas holidays, and yeah, I just picked up where the last one left off. And yeah, I gave this a 3.5, which I did with the other ones. It was fun, it was quick, it was a great palate cleanser after reading those 2 thrillers, just to kind of refresh my brain and kind of different genre. I don't know if I said this is a graphic novel. So yeah, it was fun and quick. I then read The Shining. Also, it's a rainbow book. I'd love to collect more of these actually. So I read this, I did a reading vlog, which it should be going up later on today, so by the time you're watching this, it's already up, so if you haven't seen it, why don't you go and watch it. So I read 2 Kings back in December, like actual novels, read a novella before, so this is technically my 4th King. And yes, I enjoyed it. I am a fan of his writing. I do need to read some of his newer stuff, because yeah, not everyone likes his new stuff, so I need to check it out. But The Shining, if you don't know, it follows this family who are living in the Outlook Hotel across the winter period. Jack, the father, is the caretaker for the hotel because it gets snowed in across winter. They have to have a caretaker there just to make sure like the heating's running, look after the boiler, repair things that need to be done so the hotel doesn't like kind of fall apart over winter. So you have Jack, and his wife and his son, Danny, are going to stay with him as well. And yes, the Outlook Hotel is famous. Lots of things have happened there. Yeah, there's lots of like mystery around the hotel. So Danny, the son, he's 5, and he has The Shining, which means he can basically kind of read people's thoughts. He also sees things. He sees things that have happened. He kind of see things that might happen in the future as well. So before they even go there, he's starting to have these kind of visions, and it seems like something bad's going to happen. So he's scared, but they end up going anyway. And yes, grips of it. But yes, things happen at the hotel. There's weird goings on. It's a bit of a slow build, and then towards the end, it rapidly gets bigger until you get the big conclusion and the ending. I don't want to say any more than that, but it's good. Horror, spooky vibes. The snow, great book again for winter. It was really good. I've given it a 4.5 star. Wasn't quite the same for Misery's like a 5-star for me, so this is like my second favourite. Didn't hit quite the same, but really enjoyable. And I might actually watch the film, although I know there are differences. It's not a true adaptation of the book, but amazing, loved it. And my 6th and final book was Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I did a video earlier on in the month, 10 classics I want to read in 2021. and this was on that list, so I'm very happy to have already ticked one off. So classic gothic horror monster novel. So Victor, it follows Victor Frankenstein, who is a student of philosophy, and he ends up finding the secret to given life, and he ends up creating a creature. And this creature is he has a hideous form that scares anyone who sees him, so he has to hide away from society. And he's, at the beginning there, he is quite gentle and tender-hearted. He ends up being, the monster ends up being isolated and lonely, and it ends up changing him into this cruel being. And then he ends up seeking revenge on his creator, Victor Frankenstein. And I don't want to say more than that. I really enjoyed it. It is beautifully written. I can't believe I didn't read this before. And with the creature, the monster, in like popular culture, you see that he's green. He has like bolts at his neck, etc. But he's never really his form is never really described. You just know that he's terrifying to people. So you're able to make up your own mind of what he looks like, which I think was really great. And it's a great book. It really is a great read, and I can see why it is, people say it's their favourite. So I ended up giving it a 4 stars. I did really, truly enjoy it. And then, like I said, I'm glad to have ticked off a book off of my list. And that's it. I read 6 books, which is a lot less than what I read over the last few months. Like my monthly wrap-ups have been like 10, 13 books. So slower month, but it's still ahead of my goal, so that's great. I really enjoyed it. It's so much fun. I'm looking forward to February. Got some romance books planned to read, and there will be a vlog on that. And yes, well, thank you for watching. Thank you for letting me ramble on about books. And yeah, comment, like, subscribe, and I will hopefully see you next one. Bye.